Hello and welcome. In this video, I'm going to talk about a topic in IELTS Speaking Part 2 that appeared in May. So this topic is going to be in use in May, June, July, August, and then is going to be used in the following season also from September till December. So if you're planning to take your IELTS in 2021, then this is one of the 50 topics that you're likely to receive at your exam. So the topic is, describe a natural talent that you want to improve. You should say what it is, when you discovered it, how you want to improve it, and how you feel about it. Okay, so according to some sources, sometimes this topic is reported as a talent from arts or sports. So it's better to limit, when you're preparing, it's better to limit your answers to arts or sports. But, well, let me share some vocabulary related to the topic and also some ideas. And at the end of the video, I'm going to give you my sample answer. Okay, so some expressions, useful expressions, advanced vocabulary items, and collocations that can be used in this topic are to possess a talent, or to showcase one's talent, to nourish a talent. There can be an inbuilt talent or an innate ability, and there are some learned skills. Yeah, these are things that are different, they're opposite, and you can be naturally good at something. Something or somebody can become hugely popular. That's a nice collocation with popular, or to gain popularity. To hone a skill, that's an advanced expression, which means to develop a skill, to enhance my ability. Okay, then you can be a naturally born somebody, singer, writer, entrepreneur. Then you can be naturally gifted to do something, or you might have the gift of the gab, which means that you're eloquent, you can speak very well. You can have a flair for something, or a penchant or propensity to something. Then another advanced word here is forte. So you can say, dancing has never been my forte, or singing has never been my forte. Okay, then you can also say to have a knack for something, to have a knack for music or languages, or well, something like singing can be a means of self-expression. Right? So these are lexical items that you can use in your answer. You can pause these these slides, or scroll back and listen to it again and write down the expressions that you think will be useful for you. Now, what kind of a talent can you talk about? Well, I collected well, some ideas in this regard, but again, because some of the sources which report this topic, they say that you need to talk about arts or sports, so it's better to limit your talents to arts or sport. But anyway, what kind of talents are there? It can be acting, dancing, graphic design, playing a musical instrument, pottery, singing, reciting poems, woodwork, running, skating, swimming, mathematical thinking, multilingualism, problem solving, storytelling, strategic thinking, public speaking, intuition, money management, resilience, resourcefulness, time management, or culinary skills. Okay, so you can mention some of them. Like I could have told you about culinary skills, but I thought it would be easier for me and more interesting for you if I talked about playing some kind of sports. Okay, then when did you discover it? So you need to describe some time in the past, and you can say when you were a child, or when I was knee-high to a grasshopper. Well, here's an idiom for like when I was very little, or when I was in my formative years. Well, you can use both of these idioms if you want to talk about your childhood. Then you can use for grammatical range, you can use modal verb with a perfect infinitive. So it must have been around 5 years ago when I was in high school. Or if you're a woman, you can say when I was on maternity leave. Okay, then how did you want to improve it? My teacher suggested that I practice it on a regular basis, or my teacher suggested that I should practice it on a regular basis. Okay, so you can use this construction. Now I'm going to do an online course. I'm planning to attend some webinars. I'm about to join a course. Well, just well, something like this. And so how did you feel about it? Determined and resolute. I had some inner inspiration or self-contentment. And I do realize that I need to toil away. It means to work hard. I need to toil away in order for the talent to flourish. Okay, so something like this. All right, well, let me try to give you a sample answer on this topic. So, right, so describe a natural talent that you want to improve. I've been asked to talk about a talent which I would like to improve, and the natural gift I can't help telling you about is my ear for music or my musical abilities. Of course, some people have the gift of the gab, and they're quite eloquent, while others have extraordinary culinary skills, and they can cook virtually anything from various exotic ingredients like venison, squids, or octopuses. However, I thought it would be easier for me and more interesting for you if I talked about having a tuneful ear. It must have been around 30 or even 35 years ago when my nearest and dearest discovered that I had perfect pitch. At that time, I was knee-high to a grasshopper and still in my formative years. In fact, it was my great aunt who discovered this inbuilt talent. To cut a long story short, what my relatives wanted to do was to send me to a music school, which was within the spitting distance from my home. Having said that, the problem was that back in those days, pianos used to cost an arm and a leg, and prices were so exorbitant that my parents said it was daylight robbery and they were not ready to shell out. So as you might have already understood, I could not hone my music skills under the supervision of a professional tutor. Having heard the news, not only was I upset, but I also lost hope of ever learning to play a musical instrument like harp, flute, cymbals, or tambourine. I tried to learn to draw and paint for about a fortnight, but to be brutally honest, this has never been my forte, nor did I have a knack or propensity to any kinds of sports like shot putting, pentathlon, or track and field. So now, the older I become, the more I realize that it is high time I started nourishing my talent. Had I started learning music in my toddlerhood, I could have become a virtuoso pianist or an operating singer with a rich melodious voice, or a composer whose aleatory or soft ambient music or ternary forms containing drum rolls could be heard on Ploshchad Vastania or in advertising jingles. Okay, so this is my sample answer on this topic. If you still haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to the channel, put thumbs up, and if you want me to record more videos with sample answers on the topics of the current season, please write it in the commentary so that I know that what I do is useful for you. Okay, well, thank you for your attention and see you in the next video.